Good evening. I'm Epstein with your Metal Market Wrap-Up, and this wrap-up is for the evening of Tuesday, the 12th of December, 2023, 5:15 p.m. I'm very early. Why? My wife has already got the Christmas parties going. So we have friends, normally go out of town, so there's a whole group of us going out tonight early, so she made me do this. All right, got to do it. Want a happy marriage. Happy wife, happy marriage. Okay. Interesting what's going on in world events. You saw Ukraine, President Zelensky walked away with nothing in hand. Mike Johnson, the House Speaker, said, love it, we want to give you, we're behind you, but unless we get the Democrats to agree to close our own border, which is our emergency, close it, give us the funds to run it, let's get a game plan, then you get your money. So it's going to be a bitter Christmas for the Ukrainians. They need our money. It's not dire yet, but it will be, all right? You know, we always make it sound worse than it is. There's a certain way the munitions are coming from the president and the like, but they're not getting our funds to pay people, and they desperately need that. They're pulling in 65-year-olds now out of retirement to build drones. To give you an idea, people 40 years old now, you have to, up to that age, you're going to be going into the Army or in some manner supporting the event that they're having. So it is dire, don't you kid yourself. In Israel, I've been waiting to see when this event happened. Today I heard the water's being turned on. So now the flooding of the tunnels begins, the funnels. The funnels will lead to the water there. What that does for the hostages, I don't have the slightest idea because water knows no bounds. Were these tunnels built where the water goes into the ground, it can't get through the doors? Don't know that either. The Israelis know it. They've been in the tunnels. They know what they're dealing with. And the world pressure's on Israel. They're standing alone now. Even the U.S. wants to set up what it will look like after the war. And Israel is saying no to it. You know, they'll give in eventually to what has to be given into. But right now they're in a war mode. They got to go get their enemy. Nothing is going to shake it. But one thing they have to understand, time is against them. They got to go 24 hours a day, nonstop, and do as much damage as they decide to do to Hamas to get this thing situated. The problem, and my fear, and it's a big one, is that Hezbollah seems to be picking up everything, and I'm sure the flooding of the tunnels is going to pick that up again. We could have another front develop there, and you saw, of course, the Houthis out of Yemen fired on another ship in the Red Sea. So lots going on. But for you and me, what's going on tomorrow is going to be the FOMC meeting, the announcement. The announcement will come and go. It's going to be that the Fed is on pause. They're looking at inflation. Today's CPI number did not dissuade the Fed from maintaining that hawkish stance completely. They've got to be thinking inflation got sticky. I've been saying that to you a long time. A lot of people don't agree with me. Okay, I see zero chance for a quarter-point cut in the first quarter. And I'm now starting to wonder if the second quarter, if inflation doesn't weaken. We get a number of reports very shortly. We'll get to January, February into the first quarter. I don't know if there's a February, but we'll get a couple of them into the first quarter. That will give me a better idea. But for me, I have mentally written off already no chance of a cut in the first quarter of the year. I think that everybody thinks that this report today had a lot of cement on it. It's not doing the job. Had this weakened and been a deeper cut, in other words, you for the first time got through the core CPI, big number of 4%, got to a 3.7, 3.8, that would have had me thinking that maybe everybody's right. Now I think they're wrong. All right. So the gold market. Well, gold continues to come back into this 2,000 range. I had a gentleman write us on the YouTube page. When I love to see some of these characters. Ira, you told me gold was going to take off when it cleared 2070. Now, so maybe I should remind this gentleman. 2070, 2152 is $82 later. It took off. I didn't say it would stay on that first run. I said it would take off. My whole thing was you were going to catch shorts when that happened and you were going to zoom. And what happened is the market had no staying power because no one quite knows how long the Fed has to stay with with the policy that might make the dollar strong and keep interest rates a bit tighter than people thought. And that is the enemy of gold. So now the gold is down here, and today was not a report that was gold's friend because the CPI didn't weaken a lot. that would put some pressure on it. In the copper market, what is going on is the Economic Council meeting followed the Politburo meeting in China, and they came out and they lay out their game plan. Well, let me tell you, you're going to have to wait now a couple of months because just like the Politburo, everything's a lot of talk with not telling us what they're doing. I didn't see any measures there that propped up property or other things, so I am concerned with that, and you should be too. When we look at the gold market, here's how you look at it. You had your move to an all-time moves, all right? And this is a close-only chart. This is not the peaks. We'll get to that in a minute. As long as you stay over 1948.50, you've got your upside bias. Markets go up and down. This was a blow-off. Can I be any clearer? You went from 21.50 and a fraction all the way back under 20.50. It was about $100 and some odd range, okay? And where did you go? You went over the Bollinger Band, as you'll see. The pattern remains bearish. Lower highs, lower lows for the near term. I want you to listen to me for the near term. The market is challenging what I told you it would. The averages starting at the 18, now getting into the 100. It might challenge the 2, but I think tomorrow's going to be a big part of determining that and the day after. Remember, on Thursday, we're going to get 4 central banks telling us what they do. Bank of England, European Central Bank, Swiss National Bank, Norge Bank. So you're getting all those coming in. That will then cement, I think, what gold wants to do at that point. Gold market, you can see how it's coming down, but big support. Weights at 1978.40 to 1975, and you're already oversold. So no, in looking at a daily chart, no, there's nothing bullish on it just yet. You need to get back over and close over 2030 to start the process that, I'm going to go back up. And when you eventually go, you have a target that maybe you can get to. But getting through Bollinger Bands at 2084 is not easy. And once you cleared that first level of it, I predicted you would get a burst because you'd catch stops. At least that was my theory. It happened to be right. Theories come and go, and you get plenty of them wrong, but that's what I thought would take place. Now, the gold-silver ratio, silver is still weaker than gold. You can see that. You're back up at highs, and you're not even backing away from it. So silver's got problems. And you could see how they have stayed down there. This is actually the first day of trying to get down where both numbers are underneath 20. We'll see if they can do it and begin the embedded process. If you take out these numbers right here, you got big problems, all right? I don't want to see these 2 levels violated. I thought that you would hold better. I don't mind saying that right in here, but I expected that if it didn't, the Bollinger Band would support. I could be very wrong on that. We'll see. In the copper market, the first challenge to the spike, just like the gold market of the upper band, met by a severe sell-off pattern, but now you're in a downtrend in copper. Copper's got lower highs, lower lows. It's come into the support zone. You're trading in between the gray line, which is the 200-day average, the 18 down to the 100, this whole area, but you could break down and get to the 374 area for support again. In order to get friendly the market, you've got to get back over 386.40 on the current pattern. I don't see that at this point. Platinum is trying to be bullish. So until we take out today's low, it's an outside day up. If you've taken the outside day course, you learn this right away. Today, this is an important thing. Outside days happen all the time on charts. People don't know how to work with them. If you take that course, you're going to learn in a few chapters to look for these patterns, and you'll know where the stops are on it and where the market's first target often is. The word is often, but it's an important part because they happen so often. Go to Epstein.com under the word education. The course is waiting for you there. Higher lows, higher highs. I'd be looking right up here for the resistance to 956 level. And as I said, today's low is going to be the key. Take that out, you're back to the drawing board. Dollar index, you made your challenge of the 100-day average in green. You pulled back to the neutral zone. What do we call the red line on every chart? The line in the sand. It's from there, the 18-day average, that markets like to decide what to do next. That is what this market is fighting. We will see what happens. So you put it together, you come up with game plans as to what you're going to try to do, and I start you off each morning. You know, At 5:15 in the morning, I'm recording. By 5, I often try to get it done. And I'm going to review with you each morning, first, the data coming out for the day. If something happened in Europe, what happened in Europe and Asia? They're already open and trading. Then we're looking for U.S. data. Then we get into the charts. My chart backgrounds will all be black with bold numbers. I want to wake you up. This is how I like my charts. I don't like white backgrounds. I like this. It just jumps off the chart for me. And we're going to look and come up with game plans together. I'll tell you what I see. I'll tell you chart patterns that are there, where the moving averages are, the crossovers, what the market is hoping to see at that point, and then you put it together. Now, you don't have to follow me, but given what I give you, there aren't a lot of people doing this. So if you're a chartist and you're saying, hey, I'm seeing this, let me see it. Do my subscribers write me and ask questions? You're invited to. That's part of what your subscription is. Then I go in often and I'll make a 30-second to 1-minute video, bring up the chart, answer you right in that, and mail it right off to you and, via the email. People seem to really like it. So how do you get this? And by the way, the cost if you subscribe for a full 30 days, it's 22 videos often or more, is the price of Starbucks with your tip. Just think about that. And you're getting all that. And these videos are 15 to 20 minutes long. And on the bottom on our website, you skip from section to section. You can drag your cursor. Let's assume you just want metals that day. Boom. What if you want the whole thing? You got it. Education, education. IraEpstein.com under the word research. If you've had a free trial, terrific. If you haven't had a free trial, you're invited to try it. Go when you're on the website to free offers on the left. Okay, just look, you'll see free offers. You'll see all the ones there. In the meantime, I'm Ira. I'll see you first thing in the morning. Going to be an interesting day. Come 1 o'clock, we're all going to want to see what happens. For those of you in Australia, I'll be on at my business network there, and I'll be giving you the reviews of what the Fed did. I'll be on Chicago time at 4 o'clock, which, as you know, is your driving time in the morning there. See you all tomorrow.